Cheers, guys. Welcome to the newest, the freshest episode of Fortnite analysis from LH Crypto team.
Yay!
So today we'll cover the SoftBank's affair,
Bitcoin and indices,
and uncover the recent changes to attitudes to crypto in Venezuela.
Right. And there'll be much talk about Tesla, of course.
And of course about British pound.
And a little story about fat fingers.
After that, we will, of course, oversee the major events of the next week. So, in short, briefly, let's go.
Yep. Bearish trend of Bitcoin is leading us probably below 9,000. So right now it can bounce off 10,405 and go as low as 8,975. So the bearish trend will most likely prevail for some time, maybe days, maybe even weeks. But in a very long term, we know that Bitcoin is there to stay. So maybe right now is the perfect time to buy. If Bitcoin takes out of these Ichimoku clouds and reaches 11,325, then we can talk about the reverse of trend and back to bullish trend and good news and for everyone.
Venezuela has surprisingly blocked access to US-based Coinbase and other fiat remittance platforms like Mercadolar. It was done without even any notice from authorities. What the heck was that? Actually, that was just yet another event in the series of blocked access to many cryptocurrency exchanges, which happened before
in Venezuela.
Using the same DNS blacklist. The unnamed local authority from the intelligence of the country made his opinion that this was not a sporadic targeting, but that the government was especially aimed to close and block exchanges of those services which allowed exchange of local currencies to international fiats. Why is that? Well, economic crisis. Venezuela has been suffering from hyperinflation. Meanwhile, the so-called chain analysis service announced the 3 top countries with the most active usage of cryptocurrencies. And these countries are Venezuela, surprisingly, Russia and Ukraine.
On Tuesday, we saw Nasdaq falling by 4%, SP 500 by 2.8, Dow futures by 2.3, and it may mean not that much, but for indices like that, which only grow by 5, 7, at best 10% per year, this fall in just short time means no good. But they say they're trying to figure out why it happened, and it's restoring slowly, but still such a dive is just very harmful to our nerves, and people are asking themselves why, and they say that August has been a very bullish, and now it's a correction, and also governments are easing lockdowns.
You may not hear about SoftBank, but this is a Japanese multinational conglomerate joining the financial and production and investment institutions, and once it was called a Nasdaq whale by the Financial Times.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's just a label, but the point is that they proved to be a whale the last week. Wall Street Journal reported that SoftBank has made massive bets on tech stocks using equity derivatives past month. And this Tokyo headquartered company was buying mostly tech companies like Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, and so on and so forth. And overall, they bought all these options on 4 billion and generating an exposure of the market of over 50 billion USD. Wow. So it all ended in their profit of 5 billion USD, which is not that bad, but the point is that the moment media outrage burst globally on this fact, SoftBank stocks dropped almost quarter from August hates, which means that don't play with fire, or at least do it indiscreet.
From the end of August, there have been about 6 reports from major Chinese companies that said, oops, our shareholders sold great amount of stocks by mistake. It was like this fat finger error. They just put on the wrong tick, put on the wrong number of stocks, and they sold great amount of stocks for huge money, but then they took them back in just several days and made some great profits from that.
Just another turn of the 4-year saga of the Brexit, one of our favorite topics. The point is that suddenly Prime Minister Boris Johnson's government was reported to be planning new legislation, which was aimed to override parts of Brexit withdrawal agreement inside of January. Smart, isn't it? So you sign an agreement, then you just bring the internal domestic law that blocks this agreement, and you're just, well, tip-top. Well, but, you know, investors quickly realized that it could jeopardize the whole treaty and create frictions, first and foremost, on the British Island border between the Northern Ireland and the island as it is. But the point is that this week, short positions against GBP brought an enormous profit for those who didn't believe to the whole story. So, welcome, congratulations, guys.
You know who else could do such a great amount of money on shorting? People who traded Tesla. So Tesla dived down by 21% in just one day on September the 8th. So remember last time we were speaking about the split, 1 to 5, great money. So yeah, on the 31st of August, the single already splitted stock was wait for it, 498 USD. But then the whole sector, as I have already said, went down. Nasdaq and so on, they just dived down a little bit because of all the easing lockdowns and stuff. I don't know exactly of that, or just as a correction of the bullish trend. And then there came out the news first that Tesla was preparing for additional emissions of stocks, as if they haven't had enough money. So they were about to release more stocks, 5 billion of them, and also they were not included into SP 500, which is actually a horrible news. If you look at it, why SP 500 wouldn't take it? Because it's a huge company, and it may keep growing and growing because it's hyping and so on. But maybe in this index place, they just care about their stability because Tesla is very expensive and very volatile and very boosted and very bubbled, and their PE is 333. Well, was not now, but still compared to 28 of General Motors, and Ford has even lower. So they are so overrated, and if anything happens to their reputations like it has, they will dive down, and SP 500 doesn't want it. So if it wasn't this exact index, I would think, okay, maybe they're just pushing the price down. If it was JP Morgan, I would say, oh, they're just pushing the price down with their news. But no, probably they're just not sure enough about this company, and maybe next time in December or maybe next autumn, they will think, okay, it's stable enough, now we can take it.
Okay, wrapping this episode with the economic calendar. So Monday, September 14th, so industrial production month over month in European Union and Japan. Tuesday, industrial production in USA and China yearly. Wednesday, the 16th of September, the big day for US, since it is an announcement of retail sales for the past month, and the Fed interest rate decision, which still is expected to remain the same. And Thursday, so CPI in European Union, CPI in USA, and the Bank of England interest rate decision. Well, this one is a curious one, since it's quite stormy on British Isles. So see you in the next episode.
And may the profit be with you. Bye.
Bye.